Hey there folks, Ben Farrell for Benn Farrell Freelance. This is episode 19, and this week we're talking about rejection. Hey there, Ben Farrell for Benn Farrell Freelance. This week we're going to be talking about rejection because a lot of the writing groups that I belong to, that question usually comes up. How do you deal with rejection? Usually for a writer who wants to be out in the world having their things read, they're going to come across rejection. So you need to be prepared for that. You should also maybe back up to a previous episode of mine called Objectivity, because if you gain objectivity towards what you're writing, your rejections will not hurt as bad. However, they are hard to deal with when you've taken your manuscript and sent them out to producers and agents and publishers, and here comes the replies of form letters saying we're not interested, we don't see a good fit, keep up the good work, we're gonna pass, anything like that, especially when it doesn't come with feedback. For me, when I'm sending out my stage plays, trying to see if anybody's interested in producing them or even attaching themselves to it as an actor, I always try and keep in mind somebody out there thinks it's as good as you think it is. But you have to stay persistent. You have to be a hustler. You can't just take 3 rejection letters that you got and call it quits. Somebody out there is looking for what you wrote, and it's your job to find them or your job to market yourself so they can find you. But enough of my cheerleading. This episode is about dealing with rejection, and I have some suggestions as to how to get you through that rejection process. Now, for me personally, when I start getting rejected for something that I wrote, I like to just keep writing. I'm a writer. That's how I cope with everything. So if I'm getting rejected for something that I've written, I just start writing more. Now, Ryland has her own way of dealing with frustration and rejection. Maybe one way to deal with rejection is to travel a little bit. Go somewhere you haven't been before. Sometimes rejection can be so bad if you let it get to you that you need to just get away from things. So dust off those old tents, maybe do some camping. Then again, maybe camping isn't your thing. Maybe you'll even see Bigfoot. Do you like to sing? That's a nice way to let off some steam. I go karaoke, I'll sing in the shower. Maybe that'll work for you.
To the world you see.
To the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see. Then again, there's the old-fashioned way of dealing with rejection, which is just drinking your sorrows away. But of course, I can't advise that, even though I may do it on occasion myself. There was a time I chugged so many beers for so many form rejection letters. When I finally did stop, Anheuser-Busch sent me a letter asking if I was still alive. Oh, yeah. Also keep in mind, I haven't heard anybody who wrote something and hit it on the first submission. So taking rejection is a big part of trying to be a published writer. For example, there was an artist, and he wanted to get into art school just to better his craft, and he was denied entry into the art school. Did he let that end his life? No. He went on to politics, he became a world leader, and he's one of the most famous... That's probably not the best example. Oh, but here's one. There was a musician and a songwriter, and he actually approached the manager of the Beach Boys, and he got declined by him. Did he let that stop him? No. He went on to create an entire movement with a whole family of followers who completely looked up to him. And that's also probably not a good comparison. I got it. Alice Walker, who wrote The Color Purple, here's a rejection letter she got in 1981 from a publisher. You have to see what this publisher had to say.
Ms. Walker, while your piece, The Color Purple, presents a compelling and thoroughly moving narrative, we were bothered by your decision to end every sentence with an exclamation point. As a reader, this was extremely jarring. I am afraid... For this reason, we're forced to make the difficult decision to pass on your manuscript. Best of luck.
Can you imagine getting rejected just because your writing had too many exclamation points? What does that even mean, that it was too jarring to read? Like, they read the synopsis, it's like, oh, this is going to be a good read. I'm going to give this one a chance. Once upon... How can you even take a rejection letter like that seriously? Well, Alice Walker didn't, because she went on to get it published. It won the Pulitzer Prize. Steven Spielberg directed the movie for it. It was a breakout film for Whoopi Goldberg. Was nominated for a bunch of Academy Awards. But I'm a straight shooter. I know rejection can get to you. So here's some other ways to try and deal with it. Maybe you take a small break from your submissions and actually sit down and binge a TV show that actually really inspires your writing. Another possible approach is don't give up. Be relentless. Hustle. Don't take no for an answer.
Come on. Come on. Dad?
Yeah.
What's a restraining order?
If you're going to be in an industry where you have to deal with rejection, you got to find a process to dealing with it. Just remember, don't take rejection personally. It's part of being a writer, and it's no reason to affect your life or affect you as an artist, especially if you gain objectivity before you start doing your submissions. The right person to submit to is out there. Just got to keep trying. Outside of that, I'm going to leave you with the wise words of my mother, who would always tell me this anytime I got frustrated from anything disappointing. Get tough, cream puff. But whatever you do, just keep writing because the world needs it. This is Ben Farrell for Benn Farrell Freelance. Thanks for hanging out with me.
It's been 2 months, guys. It's time for a new contest. Come on.
Yeah, so we gotta have 3-sentence stories sent our way once again for the next 2 months. Tell us your 3-sentence stories to go with this photo.
I know, guys, that was a pretty crazy photo.
So get those 3-sentence stories in. If your name is pulled out of our drawing, then you'll win a free copy of one of my stage plays.
And this stage play that we are doing is Morning News.
Morning News. It's a play about small town news, and you can learn more about it by going to benfarrellwriter.com.
So stay safe and keep watching our video. Bye.